BizTech's Inside Trading show. This show is all about trading. Every week, we will discuss what trading is all about and what are the required habits to be a successful stock trader. Now, we also share trading ideas and themes to really help you make money. Now, with me today is my co-host, Phan Vee Leung. He's the founder and CIO of TrackRecord Asia. Now, V, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Brian. It's good to be here.
Now, V, I think for the benefit of the audience, maybe you could give us an overview of your background and how you became so passionate about trading.
Okay, cool. Well, I think there's only one reason to be passionate about trading, because it makes money, right? Otherwise, there's other better things to do, right? Maybe you watch Netflix for a living as well, if you could make money from that. So how I got into trading is a very strange story. I was by training education. I studied electronic engineering. I just stumbled into the trading world because I was looking for a job, and what was available was in trading, and that was in London quite many years ago in 1997, right? Just after I graduated, and it's quite cool. I joined Chase Manhattan, London. That was a bank that eventually took over JP Morgan and rebranded as JP Morgan Chase. I worked for JP Morgan in London, Singapore, Seoul, New York. That's it. Yeah, four different financial centers.
And Hong Kong as well, right? If I recall.
Sorry, Hong Kong. Hong Kong, I was working for Morgan Stanley.
Okay.
Right. So I joined a few other banks after that. I joined two other banks, Morgan Stanley and Deutsche Bank, Singapore as well. Yeah. So and at some point during this career of mine, I also was a partner at a $1 billion global macro hedge fund. And the benefit of having worked in many different places is that I get to meet a lot of different successful traders all around the world from different cultures and different time zones, right? So I got to learn a lot from them. And I found it very useful, and that's why we are doing this program. I think there's a commonality in the habits that are required to achieve success in trading stocks or FX or even cryptos, right? I think all of it boils down to the same few principles of trading.
Okay, let's get on to that. Because this is the first show, let's talk about the 101s associated with tradings. What are the do's and don'ts?
Cool. That's a great place to start. I think first of all, there's a lot of misconceptions about trading, right? Most people think that trading should be very exciting because they watch Hollywood productions. They see all these traders on massive trading floors shouting out orders or having positions that cut down right to the last minute before it turns, and then they make a lot of money or they lose fortunes in the process. Those basically it creates misconceptions, right? A lot of people associate trading with taking a lot of risk, much like gambling, putting everything on the line. I believe that's the surest way to become poor, right? Surest way to lose all your money.
Okay.
In fact, trading should be much like a science. I believe it's both an art and a science. The science part should be that you are in trading, you are actually looking for opportunities that are asymmetric in nature. What do I mean by that? Let's drill it down further. Asymmetric meaning you're risking a limited amount of capital, a fixed amount of capital, a small amount of capital that you're willing to lose if you're wrong, in search of rewards, profits that are multiple folds of that. So you try to get yourself into situations where if you're wrong, if you lose money, it's a little limited amount of money, and if you're right, you make multiple times of the money that you risk, and you hopefully make a lot of money in the process. And that is, in a nutshell, what trading is all about, right? And so a lot of people think trading is about you shouldn't lose money in trading, but that's wrong, right? I think if you want to live the life of a trader, you want to be trading for the long term, you want to be extremely successful over long periods of time, you need to accept that trading and losing money in trading is part of the process. Of course, the key is to not lose all your money such that you have to be taken out of the game, right?
And isn't it, V, it's all about discipline, isn't it? Being
Yes,
a good trader.
It is all about discipline. So we can expound on that, but essentially is all about trying to do all the things that you're trying to do, all the things that trying not to do what your human instincts want you to do. So don't be greedy, don't be don't be fearful of markets. Don't be reluctant, averse to taking losses. So first thing you must understand, if you want to be successful in trading, you must understand losing money is part of the process. But the key is to not lose too much money in any single trade, right? So you must have, and you get that a lot of times in many trading principles that you hear from market legends. It's like just put yourself in positions where when you lose, it is money that you can afford to lose, right? So that you don't. That's good for your mental health as well. It's especially good for your financial health. So losing money is not only part of the process, but it's a necessary part of the process, right? You must understand when you're wrong, it's okay to lose money. But how then do you become successful, right? If you take away from this program, it's going to be a very short little program that we will never do again, because I'll teach you how to lose money. It's more that when you make money, you have to make a lot of money and make multiple folds of the money that you put at risk. So that means try not to be too cute, right? So there's two categories of traders that I've come across in the retail sector, especially, that tend to lose a lot of money and think trading is not for them, right? The first one is they have no ability to take losses. They think that every trade that they make, they must make money. So they don't take losses. When they're wrong, they lose all their money in the process, right? Their accounts blow up. That's a high percentage of retail traders. The other one is those that think investing is for the long term when they're down, right? So when the positions that they have is now underwater, they don't take losses. They just keep it forever and think it's a long-term trade. But when it's right, it's going their way, they take profits really quickly, right? They make money, they make 1%, they're like, oh, I'm going to lock it in. And then, so they'll do many trades where they make a 1%, and then they have one trade that loses 50% and they're out, right? So that's come back to the first point that I made at the beginning, right? You're on the wrong side of asymmetry. So when you lose money, you're supposed to lose very little, limited amount. And when you make, you're supposed to make multiple folds of that. But most people are on the other side of it. When they lose a lot. When they make very little. So in times when markets are very orderly, they make a little bit of money, But when the market starts to get volatile, or much like these days, they start to lose a lot of money, and then eventually they lose all their money, right?
Okay. And that's a good point, V, because there's a lot of volatility out there today. Where are they trading opportunities, obvious trading opportunities for retail investors right now?
Okay, that's a good point, right? Its volatility is high. So that when volatility is high, markets become very fearful. So there are many uneconomic decisions being made by people. So as a result, there are many opportunities to be had. So one thing that you must know about trading is that you have to be patient, wait for times where things are dislocated, they are all out of whack, and then you can find opportunities, right? So, but one of the worst things you can do is to chase after trades or in sectors in markets that you're not familiar with. And then what that happens to many people. People chase into cryptos, rush into cryptos, rush into commodities because they are reading that people are making money on it. Of course, that was last year, right? Right now, but it's most important to be focused on the things that you're familiar with first, right? So I'm sure you and I have many friends who own iPhones, right? And they probably own iPhones like 20 years ago, right? It's that kind of it's 10 years ago, whatever. And they use Google from the beginning. Gmail was there, and but we don't know many people who make money from that, right?
Yes.
They see paradigm shifts, they get involved part of trends, but they don't monetize it. So this is why what I'm trying to get across is trading is not that difficult if you focus on the things that you know. So for example, what's really in the headlines these days? What do you think is something that will change the world in the years to come?
I think that's got to be ChatGPT.
ChatGPT,
really,
yes.
AI and ChatGPT will change the world as we know it.
Yes, and it's changing the way that we work. Soon it will change the way we entertain ourselves as well. And truly, it is increasing productivity for the people who are using it by leaps and bounds. So of course, the question many people ask as well, I get these questions, I'm sure you do, how do we profit from this? Of course, it's very early in this revolution that we are seeing, but always go back to the people that power the revolution, right? By the people that produces the shovels and the picks in the gold rush. So in AI, it is the people that are producing the chips that power AI, right? For example, if you look one of the biggest chip makers in the world, NVIDIA, if you look at NASDAQ, it's up 20% on the year since the beginning of the year. If there's a recovery in tech stocks, but if you look at the chart, you'll find that NVIDIA is almost doubled on the year since 3 months ago, 3.5 months ago, since the year started. We still have a feeling that this is a bear market. You read in the newspapers, they're telling you recession is coming, everything is ending soon. The Fed is hiking interest rates by too much, and yet NVIDIA is almost doubled on the year. Why is that? Right.
And that was the conclusion that we came to also when I spoke to the APAC head of NVIDIA, and you can catch the conversation on BizTax Asia website. We also recently spoke to the APAC MD of AMD, another chip making company that is innovating and taking advantage of the power behind ChatGPT.
Yeah. I'm sure when you talk to them, there's a bounce in their step. There's
absolutely
energy in the way they're talking to you, and that I think is something that we'll see not just in the days and weeks ahead, but also in the months and years ahead. I think it's something that will change much of how many things are done in many industries.
Now, on that note, V, thank you very much for coming on the show. That's it for this week's Inside Trading Show. We've been speaking to Phan Vee Leung, founder and CIO of TrackRecord Asia, on BizTax's Inside Trading Show. I'm Brian Fernandez. This interview will be on our website, www.biztax.asia, as well as our social media platforms. It'll also be on our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.